I'm just trying to get comfortable and check out a nerve lipstick on my teeth. Alright, so today's lighting isn't great, mainly because it's flippin' muggy. So welcome if you've just joined me. I've been trying to start at the right time, so if I've started talking and got cut off because I wasn't live properly, I apologize. But normally I just sit and I stare at the screen wondering when to start talking like a mug. So I was saying that the lighting isn't great in here today, mainly because it's flippin' muggy as hell and I'm dying of heat. Not literally, but you know, could do. So I've got a few announcements today. I say this every week, but I'm gonna try and keep it brief because I do wangle on for ages. So I've been chatting to someone I went to college with actually really recently, and I'm so happy that he's found me on Facebook, Kamalessen. Now I'm pretty sure that I'm still saying his name wrong after all these years, because he's one of those really lovely people that probably wouldn't correct me if I was getting it wrong, because he's just so nice and sweet. So I went to college with him and Kamalan, and probably saying his name wrong as well. And it was so amazing that he found me on Facebook, because I've got such strong, amazing memories of them, and they were actually the first guys that I met. Welcome to you who've joined. So I was just saying about these two guys that I met in college, standing in line. We were applying for bursary, I think it was, and I just remember being so embarrassed that my mom made me stand in queue for like a whole day to try and get some sort of a bursary or a scholarship or something, because there are so many more people there that were actually in need, and I was just standing there like this privileged white girl feeling really stupid. But the upside of that day was that I got to meet these really two awesome guys, Kamalessen and Kamalan. So the point of my story is he found me on Facebook. Thank you, Facebook. And him and I, he's Kamalessen is still in the graphic design industry, which is amazing, because a lot of us that studied it didn't actually end up choosing it as a career. And him and I had a long talk about my videos, ideas for content, ideas on how to change it up, and it's been so helpful. So my announcement is that I'm going to be switching it up. I'm going to be changing how I format the videos. At the moment, the idea is that I send out a customer email on a Tuesday letting everyone know what the subject of the live is going to be. I haven't done that for the last 3 weeks. Mainly also because I only get 3 campaign emails on my Wix subscription a month, so I try not to kind of bombard everyone with emails, and I keep forgetting because I'm so busy. And then Wednesday is my live at 10 a.m, which I'm trying to cut down to as short a time as possible. And then on Thursdays, I release the blog version of it, which I haven't done this week, even though I've pretty much finished it. I just need to tighten it up a bit, but it's been so crazy busy. So I need to work out my commitments. And what I want to be doing going forward is a really short Facebook Live on a Wednesday, where hopefully I can get some engagement. If anyone has any questions to do with branding or the topic that we're talking about on the day, then that would be awesome. Then I'll keep doing what I've been doing the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and converting the video and putting it on YouTube. Apologies if there's like a sound in the background, that's my fan, because it's hot, so you're just gonna have to suffer. So again, welcome. Feel free to drop a little hello in the comments if you're watching. That'd be great. I've gone for the Magnum PI look today. I don't know what's going on there though. It's a bit slutty. So I'm going to be changing the format. I'm going to have short videos, potentially, on a Facebook Live to do with the topic. Then I'm going to spit that out into a YouTube format. And then what I want to do is start actually building some proper video content for YouTube, utilize my channel, and actually get some more stuff out there. And him and I were talking about, hi Carol! Kamalessen and I were talking about doing interviews, which would be amazing. So actually having a full-on nerd chat about branding, from the perspective of helping our clients, not like a video for other designers. So we want to be able to help you, our clients, to understand how beneficial branding is for your business. Just looking at my notes, I'm super professional. I've got my iPad on the side doing the sidecar thing. It makes me feel so posh. Right, so I'm going to be doing. So I want to interview friends so I can kind of have like a relaxed chat, and also other people that would be assets to your business. So I can think of, for example, Imogen, who is in our circle. So Carol, you know Imogen. She is an amazing cake designer, almost like a cake artisan. And I think that if I were to interview her and I would have a chat, she would have a completely different perspective on branding from a client point of view, but also she's got a very creative job, so she'd have a lot of advice and insight, and she would be able to help you to understand a business from a business point of view that isn't my job, if that makes any sense. And the same again, I've got another client slash friend, Anna Rump, and she does such good English. She does amazing social media management stuff. So she's quite a good asset because she comes at it from a different point of view also. I know, right? So Carol's just commented, Imogen would be amazing. She would be amazing. This is a pipe dream, of course, because she's like super busy. So we'll have to see. I'm also trying to get. And I don't want to turn into that person who's always going on politically, but with the Black Lives Matter movement, I feel really strongly about building that into my business plan, because I think we all have a responsibility to stand up for humanity. So I have reached out to a couple of people that would be amazing to talk to, but obviously I don't want to give their names in case nothing happens and then I look like some sort of a weird fangirl messaging them. All right, so I'm thinking that an online live workshop would be ace. So I kind of want to work towards doing something like that. And then also, for my own business, what I've been thinking about for ages, and now I'm at a place I think where I can start to really plan it out, is I would love to have some sort of a collaborative work environment. Now my ultimate dream would be to have like a studio built at the bottom of the garden, have a bunch of people that could enhance my business without actually hiring them, which sounds a bit dodge. What I mean is I would love to have people working in my space, freelancing in their particular field. So for example, let's think of maybe I'd have somebody who's a copywriter working in my space, and then what we can do is we can kind of share client work. So we're in the same space, we can discuss ideas, almost like a think tank, and also just having all of the elements of a studio without having that studio kind of whole dog eat dog type of mentality. I'd love to have some sort of a tight knit group of collaborators so that we can enhance our clients' experience even more and just give like a really amazing, well-rounded service without becoming corporate. So retaining our individualism. So anyway, I've gone on long enough. These are my announcements. So I'm going to work on changing the format until I have a clear vision. I will keep showing up every week and delivering some tidbits and some hints. So today, I just want to briefly, please hold me to it because I'm trying so hard to keep this short today. Basically, I want to just let you know how branding can help with your growth goal setting. So when you are sitting down and thinking of growing your business, what direction that you want to concentrate on. So I've got a few ideas. Looking at a different source, my book. Oh, by the way, Anna Rump got me this from Amelia Rose. Oh, it's gone. Just search Amelia Rose, and then there's another word. Social. Wow, she's gonna hate me that I've completely forgotten her business name. Anywho, right. So there are a few growth goals that sometimes you need to sit down and go, okay, right, I'm working on this side of the business, and it could be, do you want to increase your sales? If that is a thing that you're working on, then obviously you need to start concentrating on your product, on the accessibility, so getting people to find your product in the first place, marketing your product, making sure that everything is tight, like the operation side, how are you going to be sending it out. So it's basically honing in on a particular goal, and there's obviously so many ways that branding can help. You've got growing, apart from increasing sales, also growing your customer base. So maybe you have 10 regular customers that you think, okay, I've got a handle on this. What I can do is actually take on 10 other customers with varying needs, so that you can start creating your tiers of services. So you can have your cheap service or product, you can have your moderate offerings, and then you can have your high quality offerings. And what it means is, it doesn't mean that you lose the quality of the work that you're producing or the service you're providing, but you're making yourself more accessible in different ways. So for example, my brand identity or logo design service is currently sitting at £350 when you hire me to make a logo for you. And that's because I'm not just creating an identity, like an image with type. I'm actually creating an entire thought process behind that. So I'm actually doing a brand identity rather than a logo, which means that you get your color palette and your fonts for the entire brand kind of spelled out to you, and why you should use them, as well as the logo. Now I know that to some people that's really expensive, but to others it's really cheap. So how I could differentiate my services is I could bring my lower tier offering down to perhaps, just plucking figures out the air, maybe £150 for a logo, and then I would have to drop a lot of the research stuff that I do in creating color palettes. Hi Debbie. Right, so Debbie Hayden's just joined me, and hopefully you'll be seeing the work that I've done for her recently. I won't say anything because I think she needs to like kind of launch a business. So thanks for joining me. So what I was saying is, if I was doing a logo job based on £150, what I might do is perhaps do a very basic logo, still a good one, but then also the explanation would be, you really need an in-depth service to define your color palettes, etc. And what I would do is I would still do that amount of research, because I don't ever want to give somebody like a half-assed job. So I would give them a color palette, but I might not go as in depth as I do now, because at the moment what I do is I do inspiration boards. I pull color palettes for Debbie Hayden. What I did is I researched some of the brands that she really admires and broke it down so she could see perhaps why she admires them. So obviously that's something that I wouldn't have to do for a £150 job. Then I have a higher tier level. So if you've only just joined me, we're talking about how you can differentiate your product or your service into different price categories. So for a higher tier level, I would be selling my brand identity / logo design offering. I would probably be able to sell that for maybe about £1,000, maybe about £1,000, and that I wouldn't dream of doing a service like that for an individual small business. This would be more like a medium-sized business to larger business, because their requirements are going to be so much more in-depth, and the research is going to take so much longer. So it's about thinking about your accessibility without dimming the quality of your offering. So anyway, I went off on a tangent as usual. Some more goals that you could set for yourself is, maybe you want to get to a point where maybe you want to get to a point where you want to be able to hire staff, which means that you need to know how much is coming in. You need to look at the finances and be able to trust that you can pay someone regularly. some more ideas. So what I want to work with is collaborating with a partner. So if you want to increase your customer base, if you want to get brand awareness, a good way is to introduce yourself to a different market that maybe isn't your own. So for example, a collaboration between me and Imogen from sugarbuttonscakes.com. I don't know what's with my memory today. I'm so sorry. Imogen Davison, just look her up. Something about sugar buttons and cakes. Yes, sugarbuttonscakes.com. I mean, I did her website. You'd think I could remember the name properly. Anywho, so if her and I collaborated on a project, so let's say, for example, if she had a podcast and I appeared on the podcast and we had an interview, or if I had her on a Facebook Live interview with me, what that's doing is I'm potentially introducing her to the clients that I have that haven't heard of her or don't know her. So they get to know and like her as a person, and then they get to know and research and look up the quality of her product or service, which is her amazing cakes. And then she's automatically got some of the people that follow and like me have now been introduced to her, and she's opened up her world in a different arena that maybe she wouldn't have thought of. And I mean, the clients that I have might not necessarily be in need of buying cakes, but they probably, if they don't need it themselves, they might know somebody, or they might know a business who wants to make an amazing celebration cake for their anniversary, or maybe most likely they'll know someone who wants to get married and have this amazing beautiful cake. And then vice versa, if I appear on something with her, then other people in her circle, which is in her cake world, will see the benefits of my service. And then I've got some clients that I haven't had to work a hell of a lot for, because Imogen's already done that work, and it's almost like introducing each other. So this is introducing people to your brand, to your service, to your product, in a very easy way, by sharing your audiences with people. So how branding can help with your growth setting is, it's just one part to take a note of when you are looking at focusing on a growth goal. So what I want to do going forward is I want to break these growth goals down and make it really, really kind of super focused. So if you have anything that you're thinking of working on, and I can really pinpoint something that's pertinent to you, then let me know. But at the moment, what I will look at is, let me have a look. Okay, increasing sales. Let's just do that one. From my point of view, from a branding point of view, my first thought is, people, if they want to buy from you, they need to know who you are, they need to trust you, they need to know that you're a legitimate business. So with that, you need branding. And in today's economy, and with COVID happening around us, you need a website. There's no two ways about it. So you need an e-commerce website. And then part of branding, is considering the bigger picture, basically, and also helping. I mean, graphic design really is helping people to navigate around a piece of literature in order for them to absorb the message as quickly and easily as possible. And this is what you need to consider with your website design. Even if you use WordPress, sorry, I find it really difficult. So I've found Wix, which is just like, it's so easy, it's really easy. And so if I build you a website, I will most likely say, please let me do it on Wix, because I can't do anything else. There's no other platform that I've found that's really easy. And it's not only just easy for me to lay stuff out, but it's easy for me to train you on how to use it. And then it's also easy for you to take over and have full and utter control of your own website. So you don't ever have to rely on anyone updating it for you, unless you want that as a service to alleviate you from having to do it. Wow, I said that really well. That was actually really professional. Maybe we just take a moment. Shit, I've been on here for like 20 minutes already. Okay, so so where branding comes into it is basically thinking of the customer journey and their user experience. So we'll focus on your website, and a website could actually also be your Etsy shop, and that would have a whole different set of stuff, because you are then within a platform with hundreds of other people, and it's trying to get your audiences to your specific shop within that Etsy platform, which is kind of the same as your own website, but it's just a little bit more complicated, I feel. So the branding of it is repeating consistency so that you can build that trust, repeating your branding elements across every platform that you're on. If you want to focus on selling more products, focus on selling more of your service, then you need to think, okay, what is the problem that I'm solving? I'm sure this is stuff that you already know. How am I solving my customer's problem? And how can I explain it in such a way to them that they realize I'm helping, I'm not just selling? Because that's the tricky thing is, for me personally, I don't think there's any useful ways where you can force people to buy from you and then them leaving with like oh, that was a great experience, and we come back to them. And I think if you want a business that's robust and that has customers, long-term customers that are loyal to you and will tell everyone about you, then it starts with coming at it from a point of view of, I know that my service can really help you to thrive and to be better at your job, more comfortable, more knowledgeable. So it's about setting your website in such a way, setting your whole brand presence in such a way that now you're focusing on your sales. So if you're on social media, then you're doing, oh, I've got this, I'm launching this new product, or I'm relaunching this product, or something like, I haven't told you enough about this product and I really wanted to share this with you. And then you do that for like a month. So I'm going to wrap up, because what I want to do is I've got so many topics that I'm going to be looking into filming, doing some work for. So some of them are going to be building rapport and finding your tribe, getting new customers by first treating the ones that you've got with appreciation, how conditioning is important. So an example, because it sounds like I'm just talking about brainwashing, but we have been conditioned to associate certain colors with certain emotions, for example, or certain technological advancements. So a light blue color used to mean just freedom, calm, elements of water and sky, and now we associate it with sociability, friendship, also calm and relaxed. But because Twitter and Facebook have kind of used this light blue, I mean, now I'm looking at my Facebook page and they've seemed to have deepened the darker. I seem to remember it being lighter, but that's been built into that emotion to do with color and the impression you get from color. So conditioning is important to understand how you can market to people, and if you don't follow the patterns of conditioning, then you're fighting against people's expectations. That's really what conditioning is. It's just we've learned to associate something with something else, and if you're breaking that association, it's possible to really change and kind of create this powerful message, but you've got to do it in such a careful way so as not to confuse your audience. So anyway, that's one of the things I want to have as a topic. Also another one, I really want to approach the imposter syndrome. I'd love to have a look into this, because this is something that I've actually overcome quite recently, and I'm pretty sure I'll fall back into imposter syndrome. But I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, etc., and is it just a question of confidence and confusion? So I know that what branding can offer you is knowledge of your own brand and knowledge of your own kind of defining your audience, etc. So when you have that knowledge, does that take away some of your imposter syndrome? So this is, I can't say imposter syndrome. So that's something that I want to have a look at and present. Making time to work on your branding and marketing, and realizing how super important that is, and that is not a luxury. It's actually essential to growing a robust business. Then I'm going to be defining loads of growth goal setting and just specifically pinpointing the things that you want to grow around. Automating your business from a branding point of view, so how it can help you to recognize repeated activities and how you can automate that in a branded setting. So example, your email signatures, making sure that's branded, and then creating email templates. Yeah, so I'm just having a look to see if there's anything I missed. So I'm going to be building a whole series of lives and videos, because I know today's long, I know, but I want to start creating Facebook Lives that are snippets, that are just really quick chats, and maybe building in some more interactivity, engagement. So getting you guys to kind of comment more, and so I know that you're there. Because I do feel like I'm just talking to myself. So I'm going to end there. There's some really exciting stuff coming up, and I'm jazzed out of my mind. So watch the space. I will let you know when stuff is in the works, and I'm not going to be committing as hard to the blog side of things. I've got a whole plan of that. I've got a friend of mine who's a transcriber, Michelle Brighton. She's pretty epic, so she's going to be helping me to transcribe my YouTube videos and my Facebook Lives, so I can start deciphering the important bits of information and creating better blogs that's more helpful to your business. So I'm going to go, because I've got tons of work on. It's so exciting. I'm actually at the point where I can complain about how busy I am, which is amazing. I mean, I haven't been paid for anything yet, but I'm sure that's going to come later. At the moment, I'm just super busy and I'm loving it. All right, so thank you for joining me today. Please message me any kind of questions that you have around branding, so that I can approach it as a topic, and hopefully see you again real soon. Bye.